Yeah, I mean, do you have any other examples, or is there any experiences that like you particularly think are like really well done? Like, I mean, let's be honest. In the pandemic, there's been a lot more online shopping. This was a huge opportunity for companies to prioritize a good mobile
Yeah,
web and web experience because they're getting everyone's sitting at home online.
yeah.
So I think some companies really took advantage of this, and ultimately it's going to set them up for success. I have a few in my head, but I'd love to hear what companies or brands do you think did particularly well during COVID to separate themselves from some maybe their
I think
competition.
like Uber Eats is the one which I really like their experience because they really focus on what you're trying to actually do. And if you have to, I mean, what's interesting about them is you're not just designing how to buy stuff, you're designing how to get people who are really hungry through through an actual experience. And when people are hungry, they're like maybe I think there's a term called hangry where it's like people get really frustrated.
Yeah.
Um, and so you're thinking about the actual state of the person rather than well like how can we make the buy button bouncy and blue. So that's quite interesting. Like the food delivery services, Amazon obviously are very very good at it because they optimize like really extensively. There's the flower store, which I always call it 1-800. Is it 1800 flowers? It's 1-800 flowers, right? Which is
1-800
yeah.
flowers.
I always call them 1800 flowers, and then people in America just laughing because that's not what it's called. Their experiences are pretty cool in terms of getting someone through checkout really well, and they optimize for that quite heavily. But yeah, no, so those kind of experiences really good.
So I have some other examples for you. I want to know if you've seen any of them. So this digital agency called Digital Silk basically recently reviewed some of the top companies that improved their designs during COVID. So I'll read the top five, and I've used probably two of the five, but the first was IKEA. Everyone knows IKEA,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
IKEA's online sales have reached double what they did a year ago during COVID-19 crisis. No surprise here that furniture companies and home furnishing companies have been through the roof as people are tired of staring at their
Yeah,
couches.
absolutely.
In some countries, including Denmark, IKEA's e-commerce sales are close to 10 times pre-pandemic levels. Digital Silk credits innovations such as launched advanced virtual showrooms with mobile and deep learning.
Yeah,
So I've seen this before where like you can take a photo of your room and then you can take the couch and drop it in.
yeah.
So this is an example of IKEA being like, we're not only going to just do good web design best practices, but we're going to integrate new technologies like
But
AI.
they're
as a
known
way
for
to
that though. So like I think we've
program.
spoken about this before, where they're known to do the ethnographic studies and observe people in their home. And although they don't call themselves a technology company, the way they design their furniture, like the chargeable surfaces and stuff, they put it in specific places because they know that's where people place their devices. And again, it's that wrapping the experience around the people thing that we've spoken about quite a few times now.
Yep.
So they're known for that. And also, if you the way you know there's genius is when you look at the directions of assembling their flat pack. There's no written word. That is genius, like to me.
Yeah, it's
And they
unreal.
design the actual screw fixings in a way that you cannot mix them up. I was going to start singing Rick Ashley again. I don't know why. They cannot let you down, and they keep you, and whatever.
So this is my take on IKEA. I think the products are very well designed, but the product materials I think are the number one reason why I have since moved on past my post college days. I just didn't feel like if I'm buying a piece of furniture and I want it to last forever, I typically wouldn't go to IKEA. But I totally agree with you that the amount of engineering and thought that goes into their products, it's no surprise that this carried over into the website.
Now, if you want to buy good stuff, we're talking about IKEA. You want to buy the good stuff, you have to pay a bit. That where the solid proper wood.
Yeah.
That stuff is really, I mean, but you're paying for it. But like even though the light fittings, but you can see that there seems to be with IKEA just love in their design. When you go to their showrooms, there's like everything is really well engineered. But anyways, let's look at some of the other examples that you mentioned.
Yeah. So moving on. This one's